begin our presentation. Thank you.
Tamburini, the cross, and it goes in.
It's a legacy born in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Made of Big East and ACC championships, nurtured by names like Vick, Tenscher, Curry, Harrison, and Castlin. Built on the dedication of tens of thousands of student athletes and hundreds of thousands of alumni and fans through the years. When you wear the VT, you know this is home. Help us write the next and greatest chapter in the story of Virginia Tech athletics.
Virginia Tech has accomplished a great deal, but we are never finished getting better. Virginia Tech has the 10th ranked budget in the ACC. We rank 11th in fundraising dollars per year, and under 4% of our alumni currently give back to the Hokie Club. In order to continue providing quality scholarship opportunities, and in order to compete at the highest levels nationally and in the ACC, we need your help. We need your help to join us in the Drive for 25.
My scholarship changed my life, and I know that a scholarship can change others. That's why Cheryl and I donate to the Hokie Scholarship Fund and why we support the Drive for 25.
The Drive for 25 is geared to have 25,000 Hokies commit to the Hokie Club and our athletes.
I want to continue the tradition and bring national championships home.
I want to impact the lives of our student athletes
and ensure success upon graduation.
I want our student athletes to be leaders on the court and in the game of life.
This is the best way for you to be a part. Your gift to the Hokie Club on the road to 25,000 members helps fund scholarships for our student athletes, reach dreams unimaginable, go places unthinkable, and give student athletes chances to go beyond their natural potential.
Like I've said many times, we're all in this together. We need all the Hokie Nation to commit to the Hokie Club, supporting scholarships for our student athletes.
Now is the time. Hokie Club donors make a difference. Join us and help us.
Commit today at HokieClub.com.
With you, we can make it. With you, we can drive for 25.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce our Director of Athletics, Mr. Whit Babcock.
Yeah, thank you all for coming. As Pete mentioned, today you will be hearing from Coach Beamer after me, certainly. You'll also be hearing some from Kenny Brooks, the head coach of our 10-0 women's basketball team, ranked number 25. You'll hear from Kevin Dresser, whose program is in the top 5. Will Webb from the Belk Bowl, and by the way, we have less than 1,000 tickets, probably more like 800 tickets left in our allotment for the bowl, so you can ask Will a few questions about that. And you will also hear from ACC Coach of the Year, Justin Fuente, and some of our student athletes in football and women's basketball. And all of that is exciting and important and all those things. But without exaggeration, this Drive for 25 campaign that we are starting today or announcing today is very likely the most important single thing we will do in the athletic department in 2017, and that is not an exaggeration. So for some of you that have commented on it about it being a major announcement, it is darn sure major to us, and I appreciate y'all being here. So the success of the Hokie Club Drive for 25 is critical to our success in the near term and for the future. And so today, again, before I turn it over to Coach Beamer, I'll share a little bit about what the Drive for 25 is, what exactly it is, and I'll share a little bit more in depth about the why we're doing it, why it's a difference maker, why now, why it's so critical to all that we're trying to build, and how Hokie Nation can help us. Then, as I mentioned, Coach Beamer, but Coach Beamer will be the chairperson, our front person. There's no better face for the Drive for 25 and no better man for the job than Coach Beamer himself, and we're honored to have him in that role. So the number 25, as you picked up on, is very special and unique at Virginia Tech and what it represents, and thus the Drive for 25 was born. All right, so what is the Drive for 25? You saw in the video, very simply, it's our initiative and goal to have 25,000 members in the Hokie Club as soon as we can get there. We currently stand at 11,000 donors, and that's been pretty static since the late 1990s and early 2000s. We certainly want to have arms wide enough to welcome all Hokies, alumni, and friends, and we have this goal of reaching 25,000. Clemson, Florida State, and Louisville are all very close to that. and we want to be the best, and 25,000 is a great number and an aggressive goal for us to shoot for. Our total number of donors, 11,000, while they're all very generous and we're grateful for all of them, that number of donors currently ranks us 11th out of 15 in the ACC. Today is about increasing awareness, increasing involvement, how Hokies can get involved, and why we need your help. Today is also about bringing awareness to the rapidly escalating scholarship costs and all the opportunities that these scholarships provide our young people at Virginia Tech. You will all hear and see much more about the Drive for 25. You'll see it in the mail, email, social media, phone, in person over the weeks, months, and perhaps years ahead. We will achieve this goal of 25,000, and falling short is not an option. For those Hokies out there watching or that will pick up on this later in the day, the Drive for 25 is the single best way that you can get involved and help us continue our momentum in athletics, period. Season tickets are great. Bowl tickets are great. We need you. Helping us fund facilities are outstanding, buying our merchandise and more, but none of it is more important than scholarships. And again, that's a major announcement to us today to elaborate on that. Anyone who gives from now through the end of 2017 to the Hokie Scholarship Fund, that's a part of the Hokie Club, will get a lapel pin. And no, it is not about giving to get something, it's a gift. But this pin that we have on is just a small token of our thanks. And for those that give to this campaign, they'll be able to proudly display that. And we're hoping for a little positive peer pressure along the way. And the only way you can get one is to give. And our athletic department, we have already had our internal campaign, and I qualify, and Coach does too, to wear them right now. It's something, giving to athletics or the Hokie Club is something that nearly every Hokie can do, no matter where they live, and no matter if they desire season tickets or not. We hope people will consider a gift minimum of $25 per month. We can make it easy for you to do that, although gifts of any amount are appreciated, and some can do more than that, of course. We're asking all Hokies to do their part, and I assure you and promise you we will keep busting it on our end to do our part. We've got something good going. Let's keep it rolling. If you like what you see, now's the time to get in the game. What are you waiting for? Invest in our success and play a role in it. We're all one team after all. It feels good to give. It is a gift. You give a gift. It is not a transaction. People who give to the Hokie Club can feel pride and satisfaction of supporting our students and our athletic program by getting involved, paying it forward, and doing their part to help us be the preeminent athletic department in the ACC. And make no mistake about it, that is our goal in every facet. So that's a little bit about what the Drive for 25 is. I'll finish with why we are doing it, or why now, etc. It is about raising money. We're not going to hide behind that, and it is specifically for scholarships. I believe that if you show Hokies a need and show how their support can make a difference, I'm confident that they, or we, will step up collectively. Here's some statistics, for you. At Virginia Tech, we have over 500 student athletes, and we offer just over around 300 full scholarships, right? We have some walk-ons. Some of those scholarships are busted up into partials, etc. But 6 years ago, that very same scholarship bill at Virginia Tech was $9 million. And this year, 6 years later, that same amount, same scholarship bill, will be $14.5 million. And that's due to the cost of higher education going up, state funding going down, cost of attendance, etc. Here's some other numbers for you. If a young man or young woman comes to Virginia Tech on full scholarship, if they're in state, the entire amount is $25,329. If you're an out-of-state student athlete, that number goes to $42,327. Our student athletes have a GPA collectively over 3.0. They major in 66 different majors, and the money goes across campus, that $14.5 million, and we're honored to do that. Some people, some of our student athletes, and maybe even some of you in the media are watching, perhaps just thought that a scholarship is a free pass. Welcome to Virginia Tech. No, we pay our way, and again are honored to do that, and we fund that through private gifts to the Hokie Club. Last year, just for scholarships, right, the bill is now $14.5 million. The Hokie Club raised approximately $11.5 million for scholarships. So we were $3 million short last year, and we had to pull that out of an already low operating budget. It's one of the first times in recent years that we haven't reached that goal, and the Hokie Club was originally created in 1949 for the sole purpose of funding scholarships. I should also say this, because our Hokie Club folks do a great job. They raised collectively $20 million last year. 11.5 of it could be used for scholarships. The other 8.5 was used for buildings or restricted giving, etc. And so that number has gone up, but the 11.5 has gone down, and now is just a chance to recalibrate and bring this thing all the way back to the original charge of the Hokie Club back in 1949. So the Drive for 25 funds will be used for scholarships. They will not be used for coaches' salaries or ADs' salaries, no frivolous spending. There's no board of directors or shareholders on the back end collecting this money. It simply provides our foundation and the cornerstone for all that we do. It is all reinvested back into our kids. They're not kids, they're young people, but back to our kids, our students, and our program. The Drive for 25 is about young people and opportunity. It's about our students, and it's about competing at the highest levels. It's as simple as that. Hokies paying it forward to the next generation of Hokies, and it's an aspirational narrative for the student athlete. What I mean by that is, no matter where you come from, and this is what's wonderful about athletics, it's the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you came from, you come here on scholarship, and now this story is aspirational. It's where are you going as a student. Student athlete scholarships, this is interesting, are second only to the GI Bill in funding college educational scholarships in the history of the United States. There's amazing stories with our young people, and success in college often equals success in life. A few more stats and a little bit more about the why behind this Drive for 25. Our athletic department budget of $80 million has fallen to 10th out of 15 schools in the ACC and 40th out of the Power 65 schools. Our fans don't want us to finish 10th or 40th, and we have no problem overachieving, and we'll do that, but let's give ourselves the best chance to finish first and to finish strong, do all those things. And this is the best way to do it, the Drive for 25. All right, Hokie Club annual fund or scholarship funding, as you saw in the video, currently ranks 11 out of our 15 peers in the ACC. Alumni giving percentages, right? There's 250,000 alumni, living alumni of Virginia Tech. Less than 4%, actually it's probably closer to around 2% of our living alumni currently give back to the Hokie Club. That's it. Clemson's giving percentage, on the other hand, is 18%, and NC State's is 10%. If ours went for 4% to 10% out of 250,000 alumni, that would get us to 25,000 right there. But please know, to the non-alumni and the Friends of Virginia Tech, I'm one of you, and we need all the help from all Hokies, whether you're an alumnus or not. Campus giving, right? This is to all of campus, academic areas, etc., including athletics. Only 9% of living alumni currently give back to any area of Virginia Tech, including athletics. The national average is double that. So give to campus units if you're out there listening. If athletics isn't your thing, give to campus. Or you can do it both ways. Give to athletics and campus, like Coach and Cheryl have done. You'll also be hearing in the coming months, because we want to bring awareness to all this participation, now's the time to get involved, etc. You will hear campus start to talk about a 22% giving rate by 2022, which is our the 150-year anniversary of Virginia Tech. So you'll hear a lot of that. I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, but this Drive for 25 is really simple. We have room for alumni and Friends of Virginia Tech, as I mentioned. There's strength in numbers, and it's like a great team. When you're focused on the goal and everybody's in and they're all in, great things can happen, right? Just look at that Blacksburg High School Bruins football team. That's a great example of team. Or our ACC Coastal Champions or our Elite Eight men's soccer. When everybody's all in and everybody knows their role and everybody's invested, great things happen. You may have also read recently in the last few months, Dr. Sands commissioned a report, a Gallup survey that surveyed as many alumni as campus could possibly find. And the affinity that Virginia Tech alumni have for this school is off the charts in a good way. It was so high that Gallup came back and did it again because they could not believe the scores. So here's what we have. We have this great, unbelievable affinity for this school. That doesn't surprise me at all. But we have these low giving rates and low participation percentages. And I just think maybe the humility of Virginia Tech, which I love, we've been a little bit afraid to ask, but we're not afraid to ask, and we're asking for a great cause, and we need everyone to get involved. We have good momentum off of the fall season, and the previously announced Hokie Club programmatic evolution now is perfect timing. Things are moving in the right direction. We've got our house in order, and now we're ready to play some offense. The Hokie Club brand perhaps got a little convoluted over the years. As I mentioned, it was originally founded solely for scholarships. Then it became facilities, which was great. It got us in the ACC, and we needed it. Now, again, we just have to recalibrate it back to scholarships. The Hokie Club also, for some, got a little transactional, right? It was you join the Hokie Club to get season tickets. And that's fine, and it's great, and we need that. But what I think it caused us to do was essentially not ignore, that's too strong of a word, but to partially ignore those outside of a 250-mile radius of campus. And what I mean by this is statistics show if you live more than 250 miles away, you're probably not going to buy season tickets or come in for every game. Or if you're older and don't like crowds, or if you have young kids and you can't travel. But there's all these Hokies outside of this 250-mile radius, and we need their help, and this is a direct appeal to them. In fact, on our website, which will have a lot of this stuff coming out, you'll even be able to see the number of donors that have given from each state. And when you give in real time, each state's numbers will go up. We've got a really cool website coming out on this and a really comprehensive marketing campaign. So we want to change the mindset. We want to rebrand the Hokie Club to be about philanthropy and opportunity, not solely transactional for good tickets. We will educate our alumni and friends and produce results by also providing great service. So, in closing, giving to the Drive for 25, again, is the single best way that our alumni and friends to get involved with athletics, period. If you're about education and opportunity, this is the program for you. If you're about winning championships, this is the program for you. It will help us do that. If you like our momentum and you want us to represent Virginia Tech well, this is your opportunity and the program for you. And yes, if you desire season tickets, preferred parking, bowl tickets, ACC tournament tickets now or in the future, this is still the program for you. So again, any gift is appreciated. We like the thought of $25 a month as a starting point, but there are those of you out there that can do $250 a month, $2,500 a month, or even $25,000 a month. And if you're one of the ones that can give $25,000 a month out there looking, please call me direct on my line and I will take your call. In closing, please don't stand on the sidelines any longer. Let's get in the game, all of us. I love the humble nature of Virginia Tech, but now is the time to ask, and now is the time we need your help. I do hear that a lot, too, from our fans that, hey, I want to get involved, but I've never been asked. Well, there's 250,000 alumni, and there's hundreds of thousands of Hokies beyond that, and there's about a dozen of us. So consider this you being asked. So it's a call to action. The Drive for 25 starts now, and are you in? So to transition this, there is no better person to spearhead this campaign than the most famous number 25 we have. And again, Coach Beamer's role with this, he's perfect. He can speak to the value of a scholarship. There's no better man for the job, and I hope y'all will please welcome our chairperson, our front man for this Drive for 25, Coach Frank Beamer. Thank you.
Good to see some familiar faces here, and glad to be with you. You know, I've often talked about, leading the element here on campus, that everybody goes in the same direction on Saturday. Here on a campus, and you got a lot of things going on, and during the week, a lot of different interests going on, and but on Saturday, you come together in Lane Stadium, and everyone, our faculty, our supporters, our students, our cheerleaders, our bands, everybody's going in the same direction, want the very same thing. And I always enjoyed being part of that. And I've been so proud over the years and amazed most of the time of how when Tech people come together, they get things accomplished. They're very strong. When you're separated, you're not much there, but when you get together, you got something pretty strong. And we have something very strong here. So where we need to really come together is getting this scholarship situation squared away. I was interested on here, and as Whit said, we're down there. I think you people would like for us to beat Clemson and Louisville and Florida State. I feel certain that's the goal around here, but we got to beat them in this area here. It doesn't just happen to go out there and show up and get a win. We got to prepare for it. So, I think everybody get together on this, make it a cause, get everyone signed up, and, let's not only beat them on the field or on the court, but make sure we supporting our kids financially and get that scholarship deal right. And we've got great leadership here. I'm Whit, his organization, the coaches he's hired. We see the success that's happened here. I've always wanted to see Virginia Tech continue to get bigger and better, and that's exactly what's happening. And so we need to get bigger and better towards these scholarships too. So I hope everyone out there will join in and be a strong Hokie, a good Hokie, and get this thing done. So, Pete?
All right, Coach and Whit are available for questions. Raise your hand. We'll get you the microphone. Mike?
Frank, I know when you announced your retirement, you talked how hard it was to leave the kids and the players. I'm curious, how much have you enjoyed seeing the guys that you recruited and coached have this kind of success this year?
Oh, it's been really good. We had a good football team. The quarterback situation was one that we had to get settled, and they did a great job. Went out and got Evans, and he has done a terrific job, and the defense has played well, had a lot of experience coming back, had probably the best group of receivers that we'd ever had, at one time here. Lonnie got some experience last year, so it's been a good team. But Justin and his gang has coached it well. They brought out the best in them, and very, very proud of them, proud of the players, and proud to watch the success that this team has had.
Whit, I think we all saw last week the release you guys put out about Steve Johnson's recent gifts to the athletic department, which is what I imagine is a good sign for you guys as far as connecting with former athletes that have had success either financially through athletics or business or both. In your previous stops, how challenging have you found it to try to connect with former athletes for donation purposes?
That's a great question. We talk about that a lot at various meetings and other things. How do other people get their former student athletes involved, et cetera. And I'll say this, I think we have very good involvement at Virginia Tech, but it can certainly be better. One thing that I found that tends to work pretty well, if you don't develop a relationship with these young people or maybe educate them to the Hokie Club or giving back or the value of their scholarship while they're here, you've missed an opportunity. I think if you have a wonderful athlete that goes to turn pro and then the first time they ever hear from me is after they sign a $40 million contract, I don't know that that's great, and so many people coming at them for money. So the Hokie Club's worked on it. Our Monogram Club has worked on it. We're making great strides there. Steve's gift was huge, but I feel like we need to do an even better job of educating our young people here now. Hey, when you get out and you want this thing to keep rolling, we need your help.
Raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. If you've got questions for Coach or Whit.
Let me say, I think Steve sets a great example, and he's been fortunate, a very smart guy, has done a great job of making money, earning money. But there's a lot of others out there, like Whit said, that are very capable. And whatever it is, I think you'll feel good about giving back to this great university.
Whit, I'm curious, the success that Justin's had in year one, how pleased are you with where things are headed, and two, how much does that help when you knock on doors or call people to ask for money that the product on the field is pretty good?
Yeah, a lot. Very pleased with a lot of our coaches, if not all of them. But Justin's been outstanding. Coach Beamer was outstanding. The transition, all of that, he left it in great shape. And Justin, I just feel like, has been a heck of a coach, a perfect fit. Really understands the fabric of Virginia Tech. So I couldn't be more happy. But I do believe, Mike, that when things are moving in the right direction, it's a whole lot easier to ask people to get involved, right? And it's higher education. I shouldn't use this example, but I often do. if you're investing in a stock and you're convinced it's on the way up, you're more apt to invest in it. If you don't believe in the direction of that company, or you're not sure about it, you're not. So we feel like the direction is going, and we always can do better. But the timing worked out real well. We probably would have launched this either way, but it's nice after you win the Coastal and have a chance at 10 wins, absolutely. But the momentum of a lot of our sports across the board right now is very good. So this is just another cog in the wheel.
I wondered
Can
about...
we afford 2 microphones? We need to get some money to get 2 microphones.
They'll get a lapel pin if they help us with that, yes.
No, good.
I'm just interested in the Drive for 25, the slogan. Was there importance in having symmetry between the fact that he's number 25 and 25,000 donors, or was that just a arbitrary number? You said, why 25,000?
Yeah, it was a group of us together, and it kind of hit us upside the head like, hey, this is just so obvious. But when we were looking at our graphs and bar graphs about where our donor numbers were, and again, all of the schools in the league, but especially Clemson's, Florida State's, and Louisville's, I believe, was just under or right around 25, and we thought, why shouldn't we aim for the top? And then, you know, it didn't take long to connect at that number 25. Shoot, the people that put the jersey on make great plays when they're wearing it. And I think even in some of our other sports, the young people that wear that number wear it with pride. So it was kind of a no-brainer. And Coach is such the epitome of giving back and what this place means. So it was just right in our sweet spot. It was great.
Anybody else questions for Coach or Whit?
Frank, how did you balance this season watching Virginia Tech and obviously keeping up, I'm sure, with Shane at Georgia? What were your Saturdays like?
Well, we spent time both places, made most of the home games here. Mapped it out before the season started, and we were able to enjoy some games at Georgia and enjoy some games here at Virginia Tech. So, it was fun watching both teams play. That RV? No, I got to find me a driver. I got to, but that may be next year. I can't spring too many things on Churl right away. Next year, we get the RV and drive around and see a good game, stop and watch it.
All right, thank you, John.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all.
Coach Beamer's going to be hanging around. He's got a couple things he's going to do for Hokie Vision, but catch up with it. Open it up for questions about your undefeated 10-0 women's basketball team.
Well, thank you guys for being here. It's a pleasure for me to be here and obviously to support a tremendous cause. You talk about the Drive for 25, and immediately I started thinking about, what scholarships mean not only to me but to our program. It's our lifeline, and we need those opportunities to be able to compete at the highest level, as Whit mentioned. Being at the bottom or near the bottom of the ACC as far as support is concerned is very concerning for us. And we definitely need your support for the Drive for 25. And I think about it a lot. I'm a product of something like this. Scholarships that were given, enabled me to reach a dream. And that was to go to college, because I had a situation where if I didn't gain a scholarship, I would not have been able to attend college. I had parents who worked very hard but weren't able to send me. So I was able to achieve my lifelong dreams because of scholarships, donations. And as a result, I've been able to see the world. I've been able to get a great education. And for me, I like to, as a coach, educate my kids to understand that the scholarship just doesn't appear out of midair. And that's kind of what you think a lot, is that you just get a free ride, a free scholarship, but it's not. Funding has to be available to afford these kids the opportunity to go out and to compete. And one thing that I've learned in my short time as part of Hokie Nation is that we have a lot of alums. We have a lot of alums everywhere, and we have a lot of proud alums. And I think a cause like this, just bringing awareness to this situation, is something that needed to be done, because there's so many people out there with pride in Hokie Nation. And I think sometimes maybe they haven't given back because they just haven't really thought about it. And to bring this awareness, I think, is something that I won't say that's overdue, but I think that it's great timing, because with everything that's going on with Coach Fuente, with every program that's here, with our soccer programs, everyone that's doing everything, I think it's great timing to bring this awareness, because we want to continue to strive to be at the top. Our kids are trying to do their part, but we can't continue unless we have the lifeline of the scholarships. And as a coach who has benefited tremendously from it, I like to educate my kids to understand that it's a generous giving from alums that allows them to go out and to achieve their dreams and their goals, not only on the basketball court, but in life. And so I think this is a tremendous opportunity for us to take advantage of the situation for the Drive for 25. I'll be very honest with you, coming here and knowing how much pride that this university has in everything about this university, I was surprised to see that only 4% of our alums give back. But I don't think it's because of anything other than they're just not aware. And so this is going to be a tremendous opportunity for us to bring awareness to Hokie Nation, that we have to continue to give in order to continue to strive to be the best that we can be as an athletic department, but also as a university. So it's going to be a tremendous cause. I'm all in favor of it. It's something that I look forward to helping promote in any way that I can, that my student athletes can, just like any other coaches, and we're extremely excited to be a part of it. So it's a great cause, and I'm glad that we can be a part of it.
Thank you, Coach. Does anybody have questions? Ava?
Hi, Coach. Whit used the term rebranding to talk about the Hokie Club, but I think with you being one of a couple new coaches in the athletic department, did you get a sense when you got here in spring that was kind of an athletic department-wide feeling, either a reinvigoration or that you were part of kind of a rebranding? What was the atmosphere like?
Well, Whit does a fantastic job. I had that feeling before I got to campus, and that was one of the big reasons why I came to campus, because of the situation that was going on, obviously, with the infusion of new coaches and the excitement that was going on. And I was just happy to be a part of it. I felt like this was a tremendous opportunity, not only for me and my family, but for this program to continue to grow with the excitement, the enthusiasm that was surrounding it. So I'm all in. If I can be a part of it, I'm excited to do so. But it was definitely something that really brought me to this situation, because growing up, as a rival of the Hokies, I always knew that there was tremendous support for the Hokies and everything that they did. And this, I think, is just the next step. It's the next step in what we can become in the future.
Other questions for Coach Brooks?
Kenny, when you took over the program, you talked about the promise and the potential. Are you at all surprised with how quickly it's come together for you, or when you saw what you had, did you feel like you should be able to come out of the gates pretty hot?
You want coach talk? You want real talk?
I want real talk. Pretend we're back in Harrisonburg.
I'm surprised. I really am, because anytime that you have a transition, there's going to be a setback. There's going to be, you have to take a step backwards before you can take 2 steps forward. And when I first got here and I watched them play pickup, I was like, we were taking a step backwards, But what you can't measure real quickly is the heart of these kids and what they've displayed, what they've shown to me, their willingness to be receptive to any kind of change and to really dive in and just really believe in what we were saying. And then when you get some success, it kind of validates the hard work that you've had. But I've been very pleased with how quickly they've caught on, how quickly they've sacrificed for each other. And I think that's a big reason why we've had some success early. And it's really fun watching this team morph into the team that they can become, because, I had a friend who came down from JMU, and he came down and watched the first half of our UNC Asheville game. And then he came back yesterday, and he was amazed at how much they've grown, in a short period of time. So I'm excited for the kids, but I'm very proud of the kids, and not just because of the wins, but the way that they've morphed into this team that they are right now.
If I could follow up, have you had to tinker with what you want to do to sort of match to them, or did they fit nicely with kind of your vision for where you want to go?
Very selfishly, I made them conform to what I wanted to do, but very quickly I found out they were able and they were capable of doing so, and through a lot of hard work, and what really pleased me early on was how much they were willing to do that. You know, during the spring or during the summer, they were constantly coming in asking for tape of our games previous, and they watched it. You know, instead of being stubborn and making me try to conform to what they've done and what they're doing, they wanted to watch to see, you know, what style, what kind of system I ran. And as a result, I think that really gave us a step up, and they just really conformed. They understood what we want to do. Right now, we're playing off of tendencies. We really haven't, you know, dove into the intricacies of our offense. And they're playing off of tendencies, and they're doing that very well. And I want them to be very instinctual, and they've done that. And I'm very pleased with how they're playing right now.
In the back, Jermaine on the platform.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great start. I got to ask you, it just seems like on any given night you have one player that's just a star, and then you got multiple players getting double figures, not only in rebounds and points. Just talk about that aspect of the team, because it seems like on any given night someone can light it up.
I'm like a kid in a candy store, you know, coming from a mid-major, you know, and we were a really good mid-major program. Generally speaking, you'd have one or two kids that could get you 20 points, and then you had some role players. As I came into this team, you know, I found out very quickly that we have capable scorers, we have capable rebounders, we have capable defenders all throughout our team. And on any given night, it's really hard to prepare for us, because if you try to take away one aspect of our offense, then another one will shine. And but the beauty of it, and what I'm so proud of, is that the kids don't care who gets the shine, so to speak, as long as they win. And they don't care if Jeanette scores the most points as long as they win. They don't care if Sydney scores the most points as long as they win. I've seen Reagan McGarity score 0 points in a game, and she was as happy as anyone else because we won the basketball game. And when you have that type of mentality, when you have those type of kids, you can go a long way, because when they put winning first above any statistical category, that's a pleasure for a coach to have. And sometimes this day and age, you know, a lot of kids want the stats, you know, for whatever reason. But these kids, they just want to win. And I think they understood how close they became last year to achieving their goals, and they just want to get over that hump. And we've kind of made a sacrifice that we want to send the seniors out in the right way, because they've sacrificed so much for this university. You know, they've gone through some ups and downs, and we want to send them out the right way. And the kids have really bought into that. And regardless of who's ever, you know, on top, you know, statistical categories, everyone's happy as long as we get a win.
Anybody else with questions for Coach Brooks?
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, now I'm going to bring up Kevin Dresser, our head wrestling coach of the number 6th ranked Hokie wrestling program. Coach Dresser.
Well, thank you. It's exciting for me to have this opportunity, and it's exciting to see all of you here. I know you're excited to see the wrestling coach, so it's my time, and I'm excited to. You know, we talk a lot about making a difference. If you're within our organization, within our Virginia Tech wrestling organization, we talk a lot about making a difference. Whether you're on the roster, whether you're in the office, whether you're in sports information, whether you're in any department at Virginia Tech. And I think the neat thing about this, and just sitting in the back listening the last 30 or 40 minutes, was this gives everybody a chance to get on the team. And when I look, and it's been very educational for me, I see 10th place and 11th place, and I'm not very good at 10th place and 11th place. So to me, I kind of take that personal, and I know I'm going to get on board. And that's probably the second thing that we talk a lot about, and we've just recently talked a lot about it with our team, is getting on board. And I really feel like this education, just to the Hokie Nation, will, I think, get a lot of people on board and help us achieve what we want to achieve. And I don't think any of the Hokie Nation likes or is used to 10th or 11th place, because we've definitely proved that that's not our place. So it's exciting for me to get behind something like this, and I tell you what, I just got really educated this morning as to how it works and where we stand and the potential that we've got. So I know this is going to be a success. I'm grateful to have this opportunity to stand up here and talk about Virginia athletics and talk about Virginia Tech wrestling. So with that said, I'll answer any questions.
Coach, earlier this year you had mentioned that you had some wrestlers that were going to move up in weight class. Have you been surprised, happy, disappointed with any of their performances or all of their performances?
I like it when you cut right to the chase and start talking about weight classes. That's my business. We've still got a couple things that might happen, and we might shake out and make an adjustment here. You know, the first part of the season kind of ends for us Sunday. We wrestle West Virginia on Sunday. So the first part of the season kind of ends, and then we'd send our guys home, and we'll kind of evaluate at that time. There's a possibility that we might move one or two, but I know that some of the Hokie Wrestling Nation out there wants us to make a fairly significant shift kind of in our lineup, but we have to feed our guys every now and then. That's part of the rules. And, you know, you can't put a round peg in a square hole. So, unfortunately, kids grow in college, and we'd like to have maybe at some different weights, but we got to make the most of what we've got, and we think we've got a good squad. And I can tell you this, if we stay healthy, we're going to get really good in January and February.
Hey, Coach. It looks like you've faced some good competition at this point in the season. I'm curious, what did you take away? What did you think of the level of competition, and particularly Missouri? What did you take away or learn about your group?
Well, I learned that we're not tough enough yet. In wrestling, it's blue collar, really blue collar, and so we have to, you know, wrestling's a 7-minute match, and I always say it's a 7-minute organized fist fight with rules, and so we just have to do a little bit better job with that. We have to be a little tougher, and we have to be a little fight a little better. So this gives us a chance to kind of, and it's been calculated and planned that we're going to change our training a little bit, and we're going to, you know, work on those toughness areas, and we just have to fight a little bit more. And again, I don't say that in a caveman sense, but in a wrestling sense, which sometimes they get close together. But
questions for Coach Dresser?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coach.